Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tera with Wendy. Today we're going to be talking about the lovely High Priestess. Now, it's worth mentioning that this particular card, especially the Rider Waite, is just chock full of symbolism. So much so that it would take me hours and hours to talk about each specific thing, and as this is simply meant as an overview, I'm just going to give you this simple breakdown. Eventually, I do want to create a more in-depth course with all the meanings and how to read the cards intuitively, but for now, we'll just go through the basics. So beginning with our Rider-Waite Priestess, she's seated between two pillars, one black, one white, with the letters B and J, and simply put, these letters stand for Boaz and Dachin, which were pillars from Solomon's temple. There's a tapestry behind her that depicts pomegranates, which symbolize abundance, fertility, and the divine feminine. She wears a blue robe with a cross on her chest and a horned crown, and it shows her status as a divine ruler with divine knowledge. And there's also a crescent moon at her feet, again symbolizing a connection with the divine feminine, as well as intuition, the subconscious mind, and the natural cycles of the moon. Our essential Tera Priestess is very much the same, except there's a bit more of that red color to her, and it can kind of indicate more power, maybe a little bit more passion. But again, we see those black and white pillars symbolizing duality and the balance between darkness and light. So it's telling us that knowledge and spirituality are both needed here. And in both of these cards, actually, we see her pretty covered up, so that can kind of indicate being secretive or things needing to be revealed, maybe mysteries that plague us. And you definitely see that element of mystery in the Light Seer's Priestess. Only her torso is shown and her eyes are closed. And she kind of even looks like she's communicating with a higher power. But again, she's got that cross at her chest, she's got the moon, the black and white elements, as well as this sort of dreamy quality that kind of looks like she's in the middle of disappearing maybe. She could also be meditating, looking inward, harnessing her inner intuition before taking action. Now, the Lost Harrow is very simple. She's actually called the Papist, and this is meant for her to be the female counterpart of the Pope or the Hierophant. In this image, there isn't too much that you can say about her, but the book actually says that her power is undoubted, and her strength is of the deepest and most profound kind. She is a strong and powerful woman whose advice may well be important, but whose influence may be overwhelming. So she's definitely a very powerful figure, a wise figure, and she can actually be somebody who you would turn to for advice. So then we turn to our Game of Thrones priestess, Melisandre. Who better to portray a high priestess than an actual red priestess? So here we're seeing more of that theme of hidden identities. Spoiler, Melisandre is actually an old crone, right? And also secrecy and communing with the divine. She speaks to her fire god, Valor, and we definitely see a lot of that fire imagery here, as well as maybe like some shadows and secrets that need to come to light. So on the flip side, we learn about Melisandre that she could also get it wrong. She was being misled and seeking the wrong king time after time. And she actually did some pretty terrible things in the name of her gods. You can see how a reverse priestess would be a warning that maybe you have the wrong information. And our reversed papist actually can also mean gossip, selfishness, ignorance, kind of the dark side of a politician in a way. And you can also see it as maybe not paying attention to your inner voice or your intuition. You know, your gut is telling you something, but your eyes are actually closed to the truth. You don't want to see it. And because they are balancing, you know, the light and the darkness in our Essential and our Rider-Waite decks, with the black and white pillars, as well as having number 2 as their number. Reversed, it can mean maybe some instability in your life, maybe even some sort of mental health issue that needs to be addressed. It's something that needs to be corrected before the truth comes to light, something that needs to be balanced out. And as always, the message could also be that, it's just a weaker version of intuition, the weaker version of High Priestess. You might find that you have the right information, but there's just a slight piece missing, or the context is different, or maybe you're not meant to do anything with that information just yet. So anyway, that's it for today. Join me tomorrow to discuss our favorite mom, the Empress. Thanks for watching. Bye.